So far on Good Morning Zakera Ward.
Good morning, Zakera Ward. It's currently 08:05 in Galactic Standard Time. My name's Suraya. His name is Jorik.
Only Turians can be as good as Turians.
Wait, are you saying that the Volus aren't a part of the council because they're too short?
No, they're not a part of the council because they come up short.
Alrighty, then who would you say are the next best candidates to become a council race then?
Obviously the Batarians.
Jorik is my pal, and I'm happy to be working with him.
Thank you, Suraya.
Now it's time for some relationship advice from our wise and lovely Asari guru, Asar Amoré.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Suraya. Hello to you as well, Jorik. Always lovely to see you.
Hi.
Krogan man.
Bingo. Caffeine nut stuff tastes better. I win.
Not everything has to be a competition, Suraya.
You know who says that? People who don't win. Here's something I wanted to show you, Jorik.
Is that... Why do you have a nightmare maw, my little Varen figure?
I know it's a show for little Krogan girls, but I had to pick this up at the store when I saw them. Doesn't it just look wonderful, Jorik?
I wouldn't know.
Monster Sky Trucks.
Mr. Rack.
Suraya, ratings are up, and sponsors want in, and they've all paid generous fees.
You sell out!
Sunday in the Armax Arsenal Arena.
Treben? Ah, he's an Elcor treasure.
No, sorry. Apologies, but that was dreadfully boring.
What? I was enjoying that.
I was too busy falling asleep.
I own the studio. I will open this door whenever it suits me.
What is it?
Jorik is sick. You have a co-host replacement. She's coming in.
No.
I am Gem Rock, the best host this unfabular radio show will ever have.
Hi, Jorik. This is your co-host, Suraya. You know, from the station. Where have you been, Jorik?
I've been sick.
I mean, he's out and about at some creepy Varen fanboy convention, so he seems more than just fine.
Whether it's between friends, lovers, or family, it's important to communicate and talk. Failure to do so can lead to emotional sewage buildup.
Jorik, I would have been fine if you wanted to take a day off to go to VranCon. But why didn't you at least call?
I'm sorry, but you're not the only one having issues. With my migraines, I didn't call in because I knew you would mock me and wouldn't take me seriously.
Hey, Jory, you're at a fan convention for a show for little Krogan girls. You are a macro buggy creeper.
See?
Are you kidding me?
You're under contract as the co-host of this show. You can't just leave whenever you two idiots are being irrational.
Me? Being irrational?
You two together are good for ratings, and you will show up tomorrow for your shift as planned.
Fine.
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 Oh, snap! Break out the snacks, ladies, gents, and fortune, because this show is about to get meta Jarry Sprinkles.
Just shut up, Gem. This isn't about you.
This is ZW 31.4 EM, sponsored by Cord Hislop Aerospace. No matter what your needs for travel or pleasure, be it a personal shuttle to get you to and from the moons of your home system, or a luxury star yacht to cruise the most beautiful places of our galaxy, Cord Hislop Aerospace has your ship. Call a highly trained and devoted representative today, or visit one of our kiosks on level 39 of Zakera Ward, right across from Caravan Garrison.
Everyone and all that. I'm Gem Rock, lead host.
I swear to God, Gem, be quiet.
Whoa. Totes unfabular, Suraya. Who spat in your caffeine nut this morning?
To get us back on track, it is currently 0808 and time that we get started. I'm Jorik, across from me is Gem Rock, and currently glaring at me from her chair is the infallible Suraya. Fine. I'm sorry. What do you humans say? I'm sorry I played hockey yesterday. I was wrong.
It's hooky, Jorik.
Yeah, you totes skipped out on us to go to some macro buggy convention. Yuck.
Gem, I'm warning you. Shut up.
Either way, I was in the wrong. My little sister wanted to go to the convention, and I gambled that I could have an extra day. I am sorry that I decided to enjoy myself.
You left me alone with her for a week.
You mean I got left with you for a week? I had to cancel my date with Sanjay, you know.
Suraya, when can I stop apologizing? I could not leave my apartment for a week because of intense migraines. I did tell Mr. Rock. Eventually.
Have you heard all the utter shit I've had to put up with?
I have listened in, to most of the shows at least. Splitting headaches and muscle pain did make it hard sometimes, but I'm thankful that my pain was somewhat intermittent instead of the alternative.
What exactly was it, by the way?
It was, a Turian issue. I'm not sure a human could pronounce it.
I couldn't pronounce it. Isn't that what the translator chips are for?
Yeah, Jory, you aren't skating hockey that easily.
For the last time, it's hooky. Jorik, out with it.
It's some sort of, it's a genetic condition. I have a tendency to develop periods of crippling migraines and other physical symptoms. Nausea, dizziness, and muscle spasms are common. It can last anywhere from a few hours to multiple days.
I didn't know that. But you still haven't told us what you actually have.
It's genetic.
Fine. Don't tell me. It's not like I'm your friend, or that I care about you or anything. I spent a week worrying about you, and then find out you ditched work to go to a Frankie convention.
Frankie? Is that some macro funk word for being a Varen creepio?
It's a portmanteau, a combination of two words, Gem. Varen Junkie. It is the somewhat derogatory name for fans of My Little Varen. Supposedly, the fans are addicted to the show beyond what is considered healthy, by galactic societal standards at least.
How late grub you are, Jory. How is it that a cute Turian of your age likes a show for little croaking girls?
Gem, go sit in the corner. Now. If you have to be in this room, go sit where I can't see you.
Excuse you. My daddy owns this show, and Jory totes was just telling me about...
Out!
Hey! What?
Alright, listeners. While I get my blood pressure back under control and have a quick word with my co-host, we will have a short commercial break. Be right back.
Thank you, Suraya.
Don't thank me just yet.
Nothing is as disappointing as knowing that the special connection you and your mate share is growing stale. This one knows just the cure for pallor in your personal life. Make it a point to stop by this one's intimate apparel for any and all of your romantic needs, for any species. Videos, accessories, and fun toys are yours to choose from here. Find the perfect outfit for that matriarch in your life. Something to tease that strong CSEC officer you have your eye on. Or make sure your favorite Solarian genius is captive to your demands. Remember, all new customers receive 25% off their entire purchase. Find us in Level 3 of the Presidium Commons. Believe this one, it will be well worth it. Nothing says this one loves you like a gift from this one's intimate apparel.
No, Suraya, no.
Suraya, yes. You skip out on me, I get to pick the ads that play for the week. Now, why would you be so reluctant to discuss this one's intimate apparel?
Okay, Suraya, you've had your fun.
While I was here, without you, I had a chance to sneak a peek at your application. I didn't know you had so many odd jobs before landing this one. You know, as my co-host on this show, which only gives you sick days when you're actually sick.
I have learned my lesson, Suraya.
Why, Jorik, you've gone all pale. Or at least you would have if you were human.
If you were Turian, you wouldn't feel the need for petty revenge like this.
I know. So, Jorik, this one's intimate apparel. Why so nervous about the ad?
I used to work there. It was one of my odd jobs, as you put it. I also used to work in a 6/8 convenience store, and even wrote some minor reports for the Nebular Observer. That reporting is actually what led me here to Good Morning Zakera Ward.
Come on, spill it. I want juicy stories about this one's. You owe me, buddy.
I worked the register and stocked shelves. That's it, I swear, Suraya.
I demand more. Spill the beans.
What beans? This one's into... This one sells adult paraphernalia. There are no beans. And besides, this one's mostly sells merchandise digitally, and customers order their items off a catalog. I would help some customers find appropriate sizes and items for their needs. There are products physically on display so that customers have a better idea of what they're purchasing. I assume that one of the worst things that could happen to a customer at this one's intimate apparel is purchasing the wrong size.
Oh my god, I read you work there, but you weren't just some customer rep. You helped couples pick out laundry at an adult toy store, didn't you?
Yes, in a manner of speaking. You seem shocked.
Oh my god, is the advertisement right? Anything for any species?
Yes, well, almost. Several designs for most species in Citadel space. Where are you going with this?
To start making up for trying to skip out on me and leaving me with Gem, you're going to tell me right now, in complete honesty, the most embarrassing thing that happened to you while you worked there.
I'm not sure any of my stories would be appropriate on air.
Come on, Jorik, you owe me. I'm your co-worker, and one of the things that co-workers do is talk about their previous jobs. If you don't, we can go into excruciating detail about Vrencon and tell me and the listeners exactly what your sister did at that glitter-ridden convention. I'm still not sure what that I believe you about going because your sister wanted that, what was it again? Princess Soul figurine?
Spirits, Suraya, for the love of... Fine. There was a mannequin of a Hanar in the store that was used to demonstrate some articles of clothing for customers. Every week it was my job to switch out one outfit for another. Hanar lingerie is difficult. There, are you finished yet?
Oh, not even close. You've only started paying back your debt to me. I have altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
Be kind, Suraya. My flare-ups are not pleasing at all to experience. I was alone in an apartment, unable to focus enough to communicate with anyone.
Alone? Sounds like you need something. A plant? A pet, maybe?
I've never thought about having pets. Especially with this job, I'd need something that's able to go for the majority of the day without much attention. Something that doesn't need much training.
A Varen might be a little too much then. As I understand, little Varen need constant love and attention to become even remotely tolerable. Perhaps something a bit more independent.
A plant might be a better choice. Less chance of a houseplant tearing up the couch.
Yeah, you could even get a small VI to water it once a day for you when you forget to call in.
A plant might be nice in my apartment. Something that won't yell at me incessantly because it had to spend a few days with the sapling across the hall.
Well, perhaps the houseplant wouldn't be so upset if you took the time to do your job and not play hockey when it pleases you.
I thought it was hooky.
Am I early? Mr. Rock said it was time.
Oh, I had totally forgotten. Alright listeners, for the past week it has been a bit hectic here with GMZW, and we promised Lady A another shot at her segment. Sorry about the late start, but here we go.
Hello, Matriarch Amor. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too, Jorik. I hope you've recovered well. And hello, my dear listeners. I have to say that I expected the booth to be a bit more crowded today. Where has our dear Gem run off to? Did she receive an urgent message from one of her sticks?
Suraya asked her to leave.
Oh, I'm surprised that Gem listened to a request from something.
I kicked her out. She overstayed her welcome. Besides, I have my co-host here, where he should be.
Ah, that makes more sense. Well, dear novice romantics, with all the interruptions and disorder over the past few segments, I haven't been able to give the emphasis I wished on the importance of maturity, compatibility, and clear communication to a healthy relationship.
Did you hear that, Jorik? A mature understanding is good to have. Like an understanding that work comes before play.
Yes. So, if you are having trouble with a colleague, this advice may come in handy. Understanding that your partner is more than just a two-dimensional character, and that they have their own wants and needs, is the first step to connecting on a deeper level.
I see, Matriarch Amor. Don't you agree, Suraya? You have to accept that your partner has things he enjoys outside of work.
You two are still at each other's throats, aren't you?
Of course not, Asar. Jorik and I are just fine.
Of course. The next aspect of a relationship is compatibility. It may seem like an obvious thing to even speak of, but, dear listeners, I have personally seen many relationships between otherwise good couples collapse simply because they weren't compatible. For example, I once knew a Quarian, eyes locked on a Turian lady. They grew a mutual understanding and respect through an interlude of dinners and candlelit evenings. After the foundation was set, however, they could never agree on the simplest of activities. She enjoyed horror videos. He despised them. He would suggest avid games. She preferred the serenity in a quiet evening. The point being that...
Have you ever experienced that, Suraya? Being with someone that has an interest that you just do not care for. Perhaps a particular brand of music that you simply couldn't stand.
Or a show. A show that doesn't match their demographic.
I'm curious if it works the other way, Suraya. Instead of finding something you cannot stand about your partner, maybe one member simply refuses to give up something that is tiny, slow, and inefficient.
Jorik!
May I continue?
Of course, Matriarch Amor, please continue.
Lastly, clear and understandable communication. I would say that this is the most important aspect of any relationship. You see, without clearly stating your thoughts and beliefs to your partner, how can they be expected to know what you are thinking? No one, not even a biotic, is able to read minds, and, sadly, the men of a few species seem particularly incompetent at understanding hints. In fact...
For some women, all they need is a single omnitext that says, "Hey, I can't come in today, sorry you have to deal with Gem."
For the love of the goddess, because I can't seem to do a single advice segment without having to talk over some kind of Batarian brawl. I'm not going to talk over you two anymore. You, Jorik, sit there. Suraya, right here.
You can't do that. What?
No, I'm not hearing complaints. You two can be worse than Gem sometimes.
Hey!
Quiet! I've been here for a while and watched you two interact for quite some time. Minus the spat, you two get along well and are good friends. Now, we're going to work through this. Ladies first. Suraya, say what you need to say to Jorik.
He left me alone for a week with Gem. And ditched work to go to a convention.
Please wait till we get to you, dear. Suraya, you know that Jorik was sick for most of that. You cannot blame him for the days that he was sick, as there was no way he could come into work. Conversely, his trip to a convention was ill-advised, and he has apologized for that numerous times before I came on air. You've already ground his mandibles in it. Can we move on?
I guess.
Now you, Jorik. Share what you want to get out in the open so we can work through this and get back to giving away sky cars.
I'm tired of you mocking me on the show, Suraya. I actually enjoy Treben, and you overrode me, despite that I enjoy his work. And you have not let up about the convention I took my sister to.
All right, a bit more than I expected, but that is fine. Now, Suraya?
Yeah?
You have been rather hard on Jorik these past few days. I can understand why, but don't you think that it's time you took a break from that? Perhaps you two, together, can come up with next week's music selection?
I guess.
And give him some space, perhaps. I have also noticed that you've been a bit aggressive recently. The name-calling, ignoring explanations, and mocking him have been fairly constant since you found out he was sick.
Fine.
Mr. Rock is trying to get our attention. We're swiftly running out of time, so I will only make this last point. Humans and Turians are on very different ends of the spectrum, and this isn't purely professionally. The average personality of a Turian is a perfectionistic, duty-bound public servant willing to give of themselves for others, while even the mention of an average personality for a human is laughable. Humans are so varied and different from each other that any attempt to make some base comparison is conjecture at best and pure fantasy at worst. Suraya, you are something of a free spirit. Jorik, you are very strict with yourself. This doesn't mean you can't get along. Communicate with each other, find where you two are compatible, and understand each other. You'll become that much stronger for it. Now, that is everything for today. My name is Asar Amoré, and that's my advice. Love long and prosper, and you two owe me coffee.
Suraya?
I know, Jorik. I'm sorry too. It's kind of hard for me, you know? Human news is rather cutthroat.
I understand what you mean. Trust is a hard thing to come by sometimes, and it only gets more difficult when one side isn't talking. I should have called when I could, to let you know I wasn't dead.
Thanks. You getting run over by some shuttle would be awful. I'd have to find a whole new co-host. Maybe your sister could audition.
She can't.
Oh, that's right. She probably has other things to do, like being imaginary.
No, she's just very young. She turned 14 last month.
Isn't that... Wait, your sister is 14? What's that for a Turian?
My sister is an Asari and will be starting public school here on the Citadel soon. Do I need to bring her to work one day so you'll finally believe she exists?
Wait, what? Your little sister is... Yes. But at any rate, time's running out. Look, after this, let's do lunch. I'll catch you up on next week. Maybe you can tell me more about that crazy family of yours.
Well, okay. I'll try to be a bit more open and clear, as long as you tell me about your life too.
Okay, fine. Maybe instead of lunch, we do drinks later. I'm going to need a couple of rounds before I even consider bringing up Diana. Well, see you at the Silver Coast Casino, where I'll be presumably losing the last of my paycheck. To everyone else, enjoy the rest of your day here at the wards.